provide assistance and rescue in case of accidents.
Promoting peer-to-peer learning, this forum of Afri-cities strengthens cooperation among sub-sovereign governments and devolution, a tremendous innovation established under our 2010 Constitution, has evolved into an exemplary success story that Kenyans are very proud of.
The president was speaking in Kisumu during the opening of the 4th African Sub-Sovereign Governments Network Conference within the Lakeside, said the project aims to make Lake Victoria a safe place for fishermen. Statistics indicate that at least 5,000 people lose their lives in Lake Victoria each year. The president expressed his government commitment to reduce the deaths and maximize the lake's contribution to the country's economy.
Committed and consistent collective action is essential to deepen African integration, enhance our collective economic resilience, and promote greater levels of intra-Africa trade. Equally certain is the fact that going forward, Pan-African transformation will increasingly depend on institutions like Afri-Exim and many others to mobilize resources and create a conducive environment for investment in job creation, poverty reduction, industrialization, and a stronger export performance and accelerated development through intra-Africa trade.
According to Kenya Maritime Authority Director Martin Munga, the facility, which includes an operational center, a security control center, a communication room, and a regional coordination office, will be equipped with rescue boats, ambulances, and evacuation helicopters. The investment will enhance transportation and communication and establish 5 rescue centers across counties of Busia, Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay, and Migori. Edwin Mbogwa, K24.
Elsewhere, the government has established 578 new administrative units across the country in what it says has been necessitated by population growth and to comply with the 2/3 gender rule. The administrative units established include sub-counties, divisions, locations, and sub-locations. David Kagina with more.
Secretary for Interior and National Administration Musalia Mudavadi has gazetted 578 new administrative units across the country. In a notice on Tuesday, November 26, 2024, Mudavadi says the move affecting at least 24 counties has been necessitated by population growth and to comply with the 2/3 gender rule. He also adds that the government's move aims at improving the coordination of services to members of the public. When operational, the 27 sub-counties, 59 divisions, 170 locations and 322 sub-locations are expected to improve citizens' access to government services and effectively address security issues in respective areas. The establishment of these administrative units means the government will have to fill 578 positions, adding to the already bloated wage bill. This is even as Kenya aims to reduce the current revenue ratio to wage bill, which is currently at 47%, to at least 35% by 2028. David Kagina, K24, Nairobi.
Developing countries will have to do more in mitigating effects of climate change instead of relying on developed nations. Developing countries must also be wary of agreements pushed by Western countries. This is according to Vihiga Governor Wilberforce Otichilo, who spoke at the Environment and Land Courts Climate Justice Conference that started today in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County. Otichilo's remarks set the pace for the conference, which was officially opened by Chief Justice Martha Koome, with speakers calling for collective efforts to mitigate climate change. Timothy Simo with that report.
4 days after the conclusion of COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, Chief Justice Martha Koome was in Eldoret to officially open the Environment and Land Court Climate Justice Conference. The conference is set to examine the role of the courts in climate action as it seeks to deepen understanding on the interplay between climate change, environmental justice and legal frameworks.
The judiciary's role in building a climate-just Kenya.
Vihiga Governor Wilberforce Otichilo had a damning assessment of the Baku conference, setting the agenda of discussions in Eldoret.
We expected climate financing to be the core issue of discussion, and indeed it was. But unfortunately, at the end of the conference, we from the developing countries who put up a very spirited fight, we were disappointed.
Apart from being offered a shoestring budget for climate financing, Otichilo says procedures for accessing the funds are punitive.
We were told we can only get $300 billion, which is actually a drop in the ocean. And given the procedures and rules of accessing to that money, no developing country can get it.
He further took issue with carbon credits and markets, while warning that the country must be cautious when signing deals that essentially exploit poor countries.
Some of our areas, in that arid areas, people have already signed agreements to give vast lands of arid areas to carbon credits, which in the short term they may think they are going to win, get more money, but in the long term they will be the biggest loser.
Peter Odhengo, head of climate finance and green economy, says Kenya remains one of the biggest beneficiaries.
This is because all of you and all of us have played a very critical role. For you to access climate finance, you need enabling legislative framework. You need a policy. You need strategies. You need people who understand on this. And of course, we had them 3 years ago.
On her part, the Chief Justice says any deals signed under climate change should be transparent.
Courts must robustly enforce 3 foundational pillars: the right to information. Those who signed those carbon agreements, were they properly informed about their rights?
Some exhibitors reckon the representation of common Kenyans in the climate change discourse has been ignored.
Sijaona community yoyote representative yenye angekuja kwa hii mkutano, kwa sababu naona hata kama tunatumia sheria kuangalia maneno ya climate justice, inapaswa kuwa pia nani anakuwa affected. Ni mimi kama mwana Kenya, ni mimi kama mwana jamii.
Timothy Simwa, K24 TV.
We take another break right here on Evening Edition. We'll be back in a short while.
Back to the future. The future is simulate. Bet smarter. Win faster now. Be a winner. More at bet.
Baada ya kutumia damu ya Yesu na mwili